Warning, the following video might contain some elements that might not be suitable for younger viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Let me tell you a story. I lost my blue cartridge, and I felt nostalgic, but I didn't want to consult my ex-emulator since the experience wouldn't be the same. Lucky for me, my video game store had a blue to spare. It looked like any other cartridge, with the label and everything, so I popped the sucker in and was ready to reunite with Squirtle for some old time ass kicking. The game went as normal. Named my rival after a detested anime character. Built my team. Earned the Boulder and Cascade badges. And dug in the grass to look for Abra when Mewtwo appeared. He's level 70, just like he would be in the unknown dungeon / Cerulean cave. Now that was weird. Bear in mind, I don't have a Game Shark. My team was obviously underleveled, and I couldn't run. All it took was several psychics to knock my team dead, but that's the fame. I blacked out and got back to the Pokemon Center. I had no idea. I had no Pokemon except for my starter. That's right. My Pokemon didn't just faint. They were erased from my roster, and I couldn't find them in my PC. Frustrated, I reset the game, starting from my last save. Guess what? I didn't get my Pokemon back. On top of it all, my war total went back to being a level 5 Squirtle. Since I'm guessing the game detected I must always have one Pokemon on me after I met Professor Oak and Rev Palatown. It reset my starter after I had been killed by Mewtwo. I couldn't believe it. I was tempted to start a new game, but since I gotten so far already and didn't feel like grinding in Radiant Forest and Mount Moon again, I suck it up, brought some Pokeballs, and started building my team from scratch. It must be coincidence. I first met Mewtwo above Cerulean. Not only was it close to the unknown dungeon, but it's also where you could where you could first perform the Mew glitch with the youngster's Slowpoke randomly throughout the game. Mewtwo found me and wiped out my team. Again, I had to train my Squirtle and catch back my Pokemon. Rinse, letter, and repeat. He always went first, no matter what my speed. If I tried using a Pokeball, Mewtwo would kill my Pokemon first, causing me to switch out without having done anything at all. It made me cautious of entering the grass. I cut the bond I needed and ran. Stalking myself repels wherever I went. Maybe it was useless against an overpowered Mewtwo, but at least it got me through Pokemon-infested areas faster. I learned to dread the wild battle theme, and the idea of the screen crisscrossing to black. When I got to Blaver Town, the start menu loaded on its own. The Mew glitch happened without me doing anything, due to my paranoia. I always carried balls on me, so I managed to catch it without a sweat. Okay, I actually was sweating that time. Later when I started a new game, it says that what happened if you fainted Mew instead of catching it. It'd be right there. No ifs, ands, or buts. Mew will absolutely not go away unless you catch it. Another odd thing about Mew, like your starter, Mewtwo cannot erase it from your party, but instead of going back to level 5, Mew will be at the exact level you raise it to. Good for me, since grinding gets damn tedious without a partner to bait and switch with. I beat the Elite Four, now it was on. I got tired of Mewtwo stalking me, and I was going to pick up my B. Up until this point, I haven't been able to try using the Master Ball on him since he always attacked my Pokemon first. But on the final floor, the final showdown, I finally had a chance to fight back. Depending on what I did, the ending changed. If I used the Master Ball, Mewtwo will force himself to be the first Pokemon in my lineup. In battle, he act exactly as a Pokemon would. He did have all the badges with a twist. Instead of randomly using a different move on the Pokemon, Mewtwo said using Swift. He used them on the other members of my party. Mewtwo said use Swift on Blastoise. The only option on the window was fight, and the only move my team had was struggle. Not only would he take out my opponent, he set up the ultimate middle finger on me as I could do nothing but watch Mewtwo destroy everything I had. When Mewtwo finished slaughtering my Pokemon, my Mew automatically popped out of its ball and challenged him. When Mew or Mewtwo were down to a sliver of HP, Mew used Explosion, which I had never taught, knocking each other out. I just said Mew and Mewtwo fainted. The game blacked out of battle and stuck there. No buttons worked. I restarted and my file was still there. Still in shock, I avoided my cartridge for a long time before I was brave enough to try again. 2. A battle to the death. Instead of struggling, my Pokemon retained all their moves, and the battle went as it normally should. Any Pokemon I lost in the fight couldn't be brought back, but at least I was at the high enough level for most of my team to survive. With Mewtwo gone, the game went back to normal. I still had Mew. I still had my starter. I played 4 hours and Mewtwo never showed up in the grass or caves again. I mind my own business. Yet I could all I could do was think, what the heck was that about? What happened if I don't attack Mewtwo? Crazy thought, but I got curious enough to test it. I used healing items, defensive moves, tried escaping, let my Pokemon faint. I didn't lay a finger on the guy. When my last Pokemon fell to 1 HP, the music disappeared, but not the sound effects. A ... appeared like when Gym Leader talks to you after battle. I pressed A. Mewtwo said, "What have I become?" Next thing I knew, the box read, "Mewtwo used struggle on itself." Bam! I was taken back, mortified as I watched this creature beat himself to submission. My Pokemon gained no experience, and I returned to the open world. In place of Mewtwo is a Pokeball. I take it. It's an item that didn't exist until GSC, Sacred Ash. Critics play. The game starts again, and I'm on top of the Pokemon Tower. I open up my Pokemon, and all my team members are there. Albeit faded. I used Sacred Ash, and they came back. You can do whatever you want with the Ash, actually. If you leave the tower without reviving your Pokemon, they'll be erased from your team, for good, left to rest in peace. The Ash remains in your pocket and cannot be thrown away. But I was touched to have my little guys again. How can I not use it? Next time you go deep in the unknown dungeon, there'll be a tombstone where Mewtwo's sprite used to be, where you interact with it. Mew will appear in your window with Mew's cry. Everyone remembers Mewtwo from the RBY days. We remember him as the strongest Pokemon in the world, topped only by Arceus, God himself. We remember him from the movie, an NXT experiment who questioned his purpose in life. It's because of that incarnate of Mewtwo that we forgot an important piece of information from the Pokedex. Mewtwo is a Pokemon that was created by genetic manipulation. However, even through the scientific power of humans created as Pokemon's body, they failed to endure Mewtwo with a compassionate heart. We take Mewtwo for granted. We brag about how we caught him with a simple Pokeball, and in later generations, we need to chuck the Master Ball at him anymore. Is Mewtwo truly as savage as he lives up to be? What happened to him in the last ending? By forgiving Mewtwo of his atrocities upon my Pokemon, did he kill himself to redeem his soul? Or is he still a monster? Did he become weary and bored of the chase and decide to end it? What does Mew play in all this? What about my starter? Is the latter reborn each time he dies, or does a clone take his place? What was on this person's mind while this hack got made? I know better now that to dismiss Mewtwo for this. Through this hack game terrifies me to this day. I'm grateful. So that was Mewtwo, a Pokemon Creepypasta, and this is a kind of like a confusing mess of a Pokepasta. Like, this is like, this is like full like your typical Pokemon Creepypasta. With the usual, the game is gonna acting weird, and why is this Pokemon just felt strange, and other cliches, and this Mewtwo stuff, like, yeah, it has potential to be a good creepypasta, but this has felt like your generic, typical Pokepastas, that wasn't have like they was in the endgame universe. So yeah, and also the the ending with like the person just questioning about freaking Mewtwo, like, crazy. Mewtwo's just an experiment, a nice experiment, like it's just it's like just sprites and pixels. Like, I don't know. Like, seriously, this dude's just like trying to question him what the heck is happening in this copy of the game. Like, yeah. So, anyways, though, I just hope you guys enjoyed this creepypasta. Since it's kind of a confusing mess, but it can be fun if you just if you're just all drunk and like, I'm gonna read some silly creepypasta about freaking Mewtwo. So yeah. So yeah. Like and comment this video and subscribe to my content. So this is Mr. Betty here, and I hope you have a very good night. So bye bye.